Okay, so this is going to be the super intro video, as if you've never opened Adobe Illustrator before and you're brand new to it. Just going to walk through the general workspace and kind of introduce you to a couple of the basic aspects of setting up your first Adobe Illustrator file. I'm going to take a bit of a different format for these videos. I'm going to make them quite short, so each one's just going to introduce you to a few basic things. Then it's just going to end with a quick little exercise you can try yourself before moving on to the next video. So to get started, once you start up Adobe Illustrator, you're going to see this kind of welcome to Illustrator message. It's going to have a bunch of presets and stuff, and you won't see these if you've never opened up Illustrator before, because it's just a history of the previous files you've opened up, so it's like a shortcut list. So as you start working in Illustrator, you can always go back to your recent files. Kind of like a shortcut right here. But to get started, we're going to say new. You can just ignore these presets, they're not really that useful. Say new, and what I'm going to get you to do is under in the right hand side, this is where we set the sizing of our artboards. So I'm going to get you to put in a width of 11 inches and then 8.5 in height. That's going to give you your orientation like this, called landscape orientation. If you're not seeing inches, you can click on this to change it to inches. And we're going to set the number of artboards to 3. You don't need to worry about the bleed, and you don't need to worry about advanced options. Everything else will be fine. Hit create. So if you've never opened it up before, you're probably going to see something like this. It may have some other palettes open, but this is called your workspace. You can save and customize workspaces up under the window menu. And we can access all the different subpalettes within Illustrator, and there's a lot of them, as you can see, under the window menu. So we're going to be going to that quite a bit. On the left-hand side, we have what's called the toolbar. It might look like this, or it might look like that. Really depends on your screen setting, but you can adjust between the narrower, tall view and the shorter, double wide view. Really depends on your screen resolution more than anything else. But everything there still works the same. It's just a different layout. This here is a tab. The tab is what your current file is. So this is referred to as your tab. Under your kind of home menu, file, all these different things. There's different things we'll do in here, but this is just your kind of your main menu. This is your main toolbar. And these here, these white boxes, are what are called artboards. Artboards are kind of like pages in your file. So you can have as many artboards as you like in an Adobe Illustrator file. There's probably a limit, but I've never hit it. So you can get a lot of different pages into your Adobe Illustrator file. So one file can contain multiple versions of the same graphic for different sizes or whatever. In later videos, we'll kind of get into more advanced use of the artboard. But that's your first task, is to create a 3 artboard file. We're going to save it. Save your work somewhere easy to access. I'd kind of recommend somewhere either on your local C drive, or if you've got an external working drive, whatever, make a folder there. Or if it works for you, you can make a desktop folder, call it Learning Adobe Illustrator. And then you can save your file. This is my first Illustrator file. .ai. So the .ai file is the native format for Adobe Illustrator. You'll see that there are other formats you can use, primarily Adobe PDF, then there's Adobe Illustrator EPS, Illustrator Template, and SVG. For the most part, you never need to worry about these 3 ones down here, or SVG compressed. They're almost never needed. Mostly we're worried about Adobe Illustrator or Adobe PDF. Basically, they're interchangeable. The difference with the PDF is it can be viewed in a few more applications, and you can turn off editing capabilities once you save to PDF. So most of the time, .ai is all we need. .eps is identical to .ai, and it's a out-of-date format. You don't need to worry about it anymore. So just .ai will work. Hit save. You can kind of ignore all this stuff. The defaults are fine. Hit OK. And you're ready to move on to the next step.